Yeah, should be live. Right, guys, welcome to The Resilient Businessman and another testimonial from a client who I've helped on different occasions. Kev Burns, who I helped in my gym days many years ago, got him in fantastic shape, and his missus for their big day at the time. And then in 2022, I've also helped him as well. So, Kev, if you want to just give a quick intro and then we'll dive into the results you've getting this year.
Yeah, as Chris said, my name's Kev Burns. My background is squad when I was younger. So always been into fitness, always prided myself as being quite fit. And over the years, joined the fire service, was a firefighter, worked my way up through the ranks, became a senior fire officer, but found over the latter years, probably more so between 40 and now, really struggled with weight, fitness, that purpose in life, thinking, I know I'm putting weight on, but how do I get it off? And, that's to and fro. Being a different, I swim every morning, but being at different classes, nothing's ever lasted because it wasn't sustainable. It was always, a diet, can't live your life, and then, back to normal. Retired July last year, which is amazing. 50-year-old retired, but again, it was that thing. It seems amazing retiring at 50, but then all of a sudden, it's what do I do at 50? What does days mean? What does life mean? It was great initially when everybody else is out at work on a Monday afternoon. I can go and have a pint, send a photograph to some of my colleagues who are still in the fire service saying, "What are you doing today?" There's me pint, which it was good for a laugh, but again, didn't help my, what I was aiming to do and what I was looking to do. As you said, Chris, myself and my wife now came to you back in 2019 because again, we're trained, we're looking to get fit again, looking for that somebody just to give us that spark to lose that weight, and especially because we were getting married, and you helped us out immensely there, and never probably looked as good in my life. But then it was the thing where we got married, trained with you a while, then that dropped off. And then from there, slowly but surely, the weights come on, went off. Lockdown was a big thing. For all I was still in the fire service and at times on 24-hour call. The days I wasn't on 24-hour call, and especially that initial lockdown when it was so hot, it was lush outside, you could go in the garden. Again, the first lockdown for me was an all-inclusive holiday for 3 months.
Yeah.
Because, I'll get up in the morning, wife would say, you want some breakfast? Yeah, we'll have breakfast. Yeah, we'll have lunch. Yeah, we'll have a drink. Yeah, then we'll have our dinner. So again, after that, got back into a mindset, we've got to lose weight, lost weight, put weight back on. And that was when I needed to come to the beginning of this year and say, look, I need your support. I need your help. As much as I'm trying to do this, things just aren't going to plan.
That call was pretty emotional, wasn't it, Kev? Like, you were pretty much at breaking point then, weren't you? I remember it like it was yesterday, to be fair.
Yeah, very much so. I think it comes to a point in your life where you think, how much am I going to go backwards and forwards and struggle with these struggles, the effort you've got to put in, and whether that be a 6-week program, a 12-week program, whatever anybody else does out there, the sustained effort over that time is massive. But when you think about outside of that, once you finish it and you start and put that weight on, that time goes like that because you don't think about it. You're enjoying yourself, you're having your drinks, you're eating the crap you want to eat. You're having a good time, and that time goes really quick. As soon as somebody says to you, this is the diet or this is the program you've got to go on, it's absolute hell. And I'm thinking, I can't continually do this. How many times I'm going to go through this in life and try and go through these programs?
And guys, I just want to hold my hands up here and give some insight from my journey, because Kev's been through both experiences. So a few years ago, my gym model, primarily due to a tutor kind of mentor I had, his concept was to do these 6-week challenges, get people fantastic results, as did Kev and his missus for their holiday, for their wedding day. But with that intensity and drive for that like quick fix 6 week challenge comes the aftermath where it's like, but life's going to continue and it's unsustainable. So that was where my education and my service was 3 years ago. A lot's changed, which is going to fit in nicely with Kev. What did you do differently this year around?
Yeah, well, obviously there was that working with yourself, that initial conversation with yourself, looking at starting to just peel back those layers, have a look at, what the issues were. And that's, I think for most blokes, that's really difficult. Exercise and diet, I suppose, when you come to conversations that they have with yourself, are the two easiest ones. Yeah, we all know we eat shit, we drink a lot that we shouldn't, probably don't do as much exercise as we could, and need to up our exercise and put the other two things right. But it's everything else in your life. For all I'm retired, I'm now a health and safety, fire safety officer for a company. I work for 2 training companies delivering health and safety, fire safety training. I'm a fire safety, or I'm getting fire safety consultancy jobs from other firms who want us to go in, look at policies, procedures, how they manage fire within those buildings. So from being retired, I'm no longer retired. I've got all these other jobs, all these other roles, and it's how do I balance all of that along with everything else in my life.
Yeah.
So fire service, when I look back, was quite an easy role. I go into work, I've got the one job, I know what that job is, I've had it, at the point of retirement, I've had it for 30 years, and that was it. All of a sudden, each day, each morning I wake up and think, where am I at today? What am I doing today? Where am I going? And then you've got all those stress, all those pressures, along with, everyday life. And, guys, we know now with regards to, all the pressures that's on us now, cost of living, that's just an additional, an added thing coming, can I afford my gas and electricity? What's going to happen? Is my job safe? What's my pay rise this year? Inflation's running at 9-10%. Work, I'm only getting 5%, or, I own my own business and business isn't, so I can't, in all of this. And you start and peel back those layers, and all of a sudden you realize, actually, it's not just one single thing. There's a number of factors here which are preventing you. And, healthy mind, exercise, etc. It'll take away, some of it, but not all of it. And it was working with yourself and going through all those things and just starting to discuss some of those areas.
I think, like, for the most of the guys who have consultations with me, when they just open up and talk about it, it's just like weights just lifted, and that's literally when transformation starts. And that's certainly what happened with you. You just like, right, I'm going to do this now.
Yeah, and a lot of guys watching this will be very successful, in their own right, in their own businesses. They'll have the house, they'll have the cars, they'll have all the other trappings that go with it. And on the surface, other people will be outside looking in, thinking, I wish I was them. I wish I had what they've got. I wish I had their life. But deep down, guys, some of us know that on the surface, everything seems great, but it's the swan scenario, and your legs are kicking really fast underwater. You're not the person you want to be. I still look at people now, and I get wrong off my wife for doing it. Not just lasses, young lads as well. And you look at young lads and young lasses, and when you were their age, you didn't appreciate the way you looked. I look at them now and think, why can't I look like that? There's all these just additional pressures put on you, and you're thinking, I need to do something about this, because mental health's a big thing now. And mentally, you just think, how do I cope with all of this? And starting with yourself and discussing all that alongside of everything else you put in place. So for me, those discussions around all those areas within life, was starting to, you can open up, I can speak to somebody, I can sit and cry if I want to, I can sit and have a laugh if I want to, I can sit and pull the piss if I want to, it's just somebody to talk to, and then start and look at all those aspects in life and start and put them in perspective and what's important and what's not important. Then from there, then you can start and look at you as a person. How do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? I tell you what, well, that lifestyle was massive for me, in some respects, you think, well, yeah, but it takes somebody like yourself just to go, look, this is what you need to be doing, and put those habits. It's about habits, not about a diet, not about a quick fix. It's life-sustaining habits. And guys, that's what you need. These life-sustaining habits that you can do. Yeah. July, end of June, July, I went to, holiday in Turkey, came back. I was back a few days, went to London, come back on London the next day down in Wales, and had holidays, probably for almost 3 months now, on and off. Had some great weekends away, and never cut back and thought I'll not have that drink or that meal. I was just always conscious of what I was eating and drinking, knowing when this came to an end, those habit forming lifestyle changes that I put in place with yourself were just going to kick back into place. That part of me, the enjoyment was gone, but everything else was just going to go back, and life was going to go back to normal, because that's what it is. That's normality. What I lived for the past 3 months or on and off wasn't. Them were the enjoyable bits. But, thanks to yourself, I can't just go back to that, as opposed to come back off holiday and continuing that lifestyle.
Perfect. That's just there's the behind the scenes of how it's so effective in comparison to diets and smashing yourself in the gym. It's like you're past that stage now, aren't you, Kev? It's all about sustainability and living this lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, my background in swimming, done all the weights for swimming. Was I Adam Peaty? No. Was I far off being Adam Peaty? Not that far. But at 52-year-old now, I've got a bit of arthritis. I can no longer sustain. And you saw us in your gym class when I went there, Chris. I'll push myself 110% to keep up with anybody. But again, your body will only allow you to do that so long. And how much you're going to train, as opposed to look at these habits changing. And that's what you need to look at. I mean, now I'm in the pool twice a week. Myself and my wife go out, we'll have a run, a jog twice a week. We'll do, some different, little bit of boxing, a little bit of stuff like that in the house, but nowhere near training to my body till it breaks down like it used to, end up with a really bad injury, because everything else is in place.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's just a different mindset of why you're using that exercise in the first place. Like, rather than I'm going to the gym to burn fat, to lose as much weight as possible, to just, I'm going to train for my mental health in it, just to tick over and improve fitness levels. So
yeah, again, the gym's not sustainable. If you think about some of the guys that'll be watching this, and you think about your busy lives, your businesses, your family, do you sacrifice your family to go to the gym to try and burn those additional calories? Or, do you put these habit forming things in place where, you can spend a small amount of time in the gym, the rest of the time you should be spending with your family, with your kids, enjoying life and not missing out. Your sacrifices come just by that sensible approach to life. Out there, Chris, sorry.
I just say it's like when you get to around your age, like 50, like you've sacrificed enough in your life. It's about taking care of yourself and spending time with your family, innit?
Yeah. And it's for me, retiring from the fire service after spending 30 years in the fire service, which went in a blink of an eye. I was thinking, if I'm lucky enough to have I'll be 80, another 30 years in my life, I'll be 80. If I'm lucky to live that long, I've got to make the most and ensure that I live that long and have that time and enjoy that time with my family, grandkids, if I have them. So again, everything you put in place, hopefully will help and lead us towards that. Because again, I look back and I think, life is short.
Yeah. So just for context for the guys tuning in, like, what were your actual results? So you lost a stone, I think, around the stone mark?
Around the stone mark, yeah.
And then what other benefits did you feel there?
I just felt amazing. I wake up most mornings, feel alive, feel awake, feel ready to get on with the day, can focus. In the past, woke up, felt groggy, annoyed, felt disillusioned with life, and wake up now, I want to go to work, I want to do stuff. I am switched on. I'm thinking about things before you
5 o'clock in the morning, aren't you, doing your swimming?
I'm up 5 o'clock on the morning doing my swimming. I was this morning. Get to work full of life, full of energy, as opposed to walking around and thinking, I don't feel great. I feel foggy. I need caffeine or I need chocolate to wake myself up. And then I'm in a bad mood because I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and think, have you seen the state of yourself? Even just putting on a pair of trousers, when you think, you know, you used to wear 32 waist, that goes up to 34, goes up to 36, and then all of a sudden your 36 don't fit you, you know, and you're thinking, where's this heading? All of a sudden, you know, you put on your jeans now or your trousers and you think, yeah, you know, so for me, it's not all about weight either. I
Yeah,
can just know by me clothes.
yeah,
Put some clothes on, they fit good, they fit nice, you know, they're not digging in. Again, I can feel good about myself.
yeah.
Opposed to, again, sat there at a desk, everything's digging in. And again, it's just that mindset and it's just that downward spiral.
And obviously, like, teaching's a big part of what you're doing, isn't it? So standing there in front of people, teaching people things, you've got to have that body confidence to do that, haven't you?
Yeah, very much so. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was over in Cumbria to an oil and gas company teaching, you know, manual handling, how for them to conduct manual handling risk assessments. I'm in front of a load of guys, you know, and some of them are a lot younger than me. And it is that thing where I can stand up, I could have the confidence to be able to speak and deliver what I'm delivering and get my point across. But that confidence comes within, knowing that not only do I know my subject, but I'm stood here and I feel good about myself. If I feel good about myself, everything else will come because it's there anyway.
Smashing. So let's just conclude this, Kev. What would your advice be to any man who's like you back then, struggling behind closed doors, maybe at breaking point? Like, what would your advice be to that guy who's tuning in?
My advice would be, first of all, they need to get in touch. They need to get in touch with yourself and have that initial consultation. Speak out, talk to Chris, you know, open up, because, you know, deep down there'll be a trigger somewhere which is causing this. You know, by speaking to Chris, that you'll see what that trigger is, you'll bring that out, you'll start and look at what the root cause of the problem.
Yeah.
Then you can start and make progress with Chris and get where I am, get to a point in life where I am. And I said to Chris, you know, yes, this is the Resilience Businessman, guys, it's all about us. However, I always say to Chris, I buy one, I get one for nothing, because my wife's gone on this journey with us. For all it's about us guys, and it is, guys, it's about us. But if your wife's there, you'll bring your wife on that journey with you,
And
because
Kev,
it's something you can do together.
she didn't realize like how you were feeling, did she? Like, men will bottle it up, don't we? But she didn't realize how bad it was.
Because it's really difficult to speak at home. It's really difficult as, you know, to speak to your wife when, you know, you are seen as, you know, the person in the house. Anything happens, you're the man, you will deal with it, you're the man of the house. How do you open up and then say, well, actually, am I the man of the house? Can I discuss this, etc.? So, guys, it's there. We all know it's there. We all know deep down, we all know we've got those insecurities. It's bringing those out and being open and honest with them. And once you do, you'll feel amazing because they're out in the open. You know, that's gone from here. That stress, that pressure, it's just gone. Yeah, it's just gone. It's gone. You don't need to feel like that anymore because you've spoke about it.
Awesome. I've got nothing more to add, guys. Anybody tune in, Kev's just put it all out there for you. So yeah, please get in touch. Anybody who's struggling the last couple of months, 2022, dark mornings, dark nights. Kev's up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch black. I'm not even up that early these days, so he's inspired me to up my game. But yeah, Kev, thanks for joining us this evening. I much appreciate it, mate.
Thank you for everything you do, Chris. Keep it up.
See you later, guys.